All right. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to get into a variety of different topics, but this first topic, we are going to talk about Tesla Model Y deliveries getting pushed. I want to hear from you all out there. What is your estimated delivery date? Did you get pushed to May or June or July? Because Tesla has updated their website and now deliveries are getting pushed to the next month or even the end of the quarter. So we're going to get into that topic plus a variety of different topics. But before we get into that, let's roll that intro real quick. All right, so thanks for watching another stream. Thanks for watching another video. My name is Dennis, and I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description, where you can get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there with interest rates as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description, the Patreon link. And shout out to my latest Patreon member. Thank you for supporting. Thank you for joining. Shout out to Knack. Thanks for supporting. And if you want to check it out, link down below in the description. But let us take a look at this. So right off the bat, I want to hear from you. What is your estimated delivery date? Did you get pushed? Are you getting pushed to next month? Because Tesla has now updated their website. When you go to buy a Tesla Model Y, you can see right here that the estimated delivery date is no longer April, which of course makes a lot of sense, right? There's only a couple days left in April, and it now says May through June of 2023. And so we'll talk about a little bit of Tesla's delivery logic, if you don't know what that is, and how, depending on where you're actually at in the country of the United States, your delivery date might actually bump up or get pushed back. But of course, this is what we know. June is the end of the second quarter, and so Tesla is going to make a big push to try and deliver all these vehicles by the end of June, because that's when they can lock in the sale, lock in the delivery, and get you into a vehicle ASAP. But jumping to other vehicles, Model 3 specifically, we know there's a ton of inventory on the Model 3 side. You can see inventory levels on the Model 3 side are going to even higher and higher levels. So you are going to get one ASAP, no doubt about that. But on the Model Y side, it's a little bit of a different story. Of course, Model Y inventory is the lowest of all the different trims or all the different models out there in terms of inventory count. And so Model Y only has like 200 or so vehicles onto the website. So jumping over to waitingfortesla.com, you can see there's 233 available Tesla Model Ys for sale across the country in the United States. And the bulk of them are the long range version, but of course they can post more of these combinations because you can use 7-seat or 5-seat, but Model Y all-wheel drive at 108 vehicles posted to the website. And of course, the lowest is the performance trim at only 8 vehicles available for sale. But, the interesting thing here is we're only in the second quarter, or almost the second month of the second quarter. And there are still discounted Tesla demo inventory status ones available for sale posted on Tesla websites. And of course, the one that that stuck out to us with a almost $1,700 discount in the past few days is now sold. So it is not actually available. But if you don't know what's going on, if you don't know how Tesla delivery logic actually works, I'll give you a refresher. Basically what happens, Tesla works in quarterly fashion. So of course, in each quarter of each year, there are 3 months. So take January, February, March, or we'll just take this quarter as we're sitting right now. So of course, April is the first quarter that we're rounding out because it's April 29th. And of course, May, which is in a few days, is the second month of the second quarter. And then June is the last month of the last quarter. So in the first and second month of each quarter, which is April and May, Tesla tries to ship vehicles, deliver them as far as possible from the factory location. So of course, that's Fremont and Texas, to like the East Coast, southern states, central states, and all that stuff, because those vehicles take the longest to get there with shipping logistics and things like that. It can take anywhere from a week to 2, maybe even 3 weeks to get on a train or whichever mechanism that they use to get those vehicles out there. And so by the third month, the third quarter, that's when Tesla basically gives up and tries to get and lock in as many sales as possible. So that's why I've been saying, if you're in California, anywhere near or even an hour or 2 hours away by flight from California, there are going to be deals all over the place for Tesla Model 3, Y, S, and X, because that is when we've seen it time and time again. There will be a lot of demo status vehicles posted onto the website, and there's going to be discounts ranging anywhere from $2,000, $3,000, maybe even $4,000. That's what we saw last end of quarter in March, and I can almost for surely bet that that's exactly what will happen this quarter in June. So that's why I've been saying for a while, June is going to be the best time to buy a vehicle. But let me know, at least buy a Tesla, because all the incentives, I think Tesla's going to roll out all the different stops out there in terms of free supercharging, option credit, discounts, maybe hopefully an enhanced interest rate, because Tesla knows. Elon and the Tesla team came out and said last time on the earnings call that they know that affordability in terms of monthly payment is the limiting factor that what's going on with Tesla right now. And so that's why they dropped the price $3,000 for the Model 3 across the board. And that's why they are essentially trying to do that. They're trying to make it more affordable, or at least seem like it's more affordable. But pricing, I still feel like doesn't make a lot of sense in terms of Model Y versus Model 3, but we'll definitely take a look at that in our second topic. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts. Let me know what your estimated delivery date and your location, where you're sitting out there in terms of what state you're actually at. But definitely there is certainly a good amount of vehicles out there that have similar or small discounts if you want to try and take delivery ASAP. And of course, there's many ways, EDD hacks, estimated delivery hacks that I've recommended on the channel and we made videos about. So definitely try some of those if you're interested in trying to get a vehicle ASAP. But my recommendation, if you can wait until June, that is when, and if you already have a order locked in, you might as well, no reason to rush, right? Especially if you don't need a vehicle. If you need a vehicle, then that's 100% a different story. But if you don't need a vehicle, you might as well just wait, especially if you have an order that's locked in, pricing locked in, and you don't have to worry about, the price increases. But I mean, Tesla will try and give you ultimatums and try and cancel on you, but there are ways to try and stall them. And, you don't have to get too creative. We can try and stall them to push it till June, especially if you don't need a car ASAP. If you've got financing and everything locked in, you don't have to worry about any sort of financial increase, then really you don't have to worry about it. Of course, Tesla, I feel like a lot of people go through Tesla financing at 5.59%. We do have credit unions and banks listed down below in the Patreon link if you want to save on the interest rate. Some of them are even as low as 2.99 to 3.74%. So definitely check it out. Patreon link down below in the description. And also we've got Tenet. Tenet is a sponsor of this channel, so definitely check them out. Tenet down below in the description. It's a different way to finance your vehicle because you can defer the portion of the loan all the way to the end, which then results into a lower monthly payment. So this is good for business owners. This is good for people that want more cash flow on a monthly basis. And you can even defer the $7,500 federal tax credit, or maybe up to it, get that tax credit next year and then pay it off and then refinance the whole thing. So there's definitely a strategy there if you are interested. But Tesla has pushed delivery dates, pushed it to May, pushed it to June. So let me know what's going out there. Let me know if you have a estimated delivery that's got pushed or if you're getting stalled, because I read all the comments that are posted down below in the description. It seems like there's a consensus that people are getting pushed for whatever the reason is. But we're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. So definitely check it out if you are interested. Water break. If you're just joining in, welcome Crump, welcome Alex. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. We've got a good amount of topics today because there's some interesting stuff going on. But in this next topic, we're going to talk about how Tesla has almost 65,000 unsold vehicles, potentially unsold and still for sale. And that's a good amount of vehicles. So we'll talk about it and we'll see at the data that we got from this Twitter post. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best behind Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. In today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. All right, so Let us take a look at this. So shout out to Troy Teslike. It looks like from his tweet here, Tesla inventory at the end of Q1 2023 was equal to 15 days of supply according to Tesla, which is 87,000 units based on my calculation. And what stuck out to me, I mean, there's these pink boxes or red boxes that show a lot of unsold inventory. Of course, this is unsold Model S and X from his prediction, which makes sense, right? There's a lot of them still posted on the Tesla websites, but the color code down here, which shows a total of 64,000 vehicles unsold. Of course, this is globally and not USA, but that is a lot of inventory out there in the world that has not been sold just yet. I mean, I guess relative to 22,000 sold. But this is interesting because there's a lot of people out there that have in transit to buyer. But taking a look at the inventory charts from mattyoung.net, shout out to Matt Young, we can see the inventory levels posted onto websites are at the highest they have ever been in a while. Actually, as of today, there are 2,640 vehicles posted to the website. So a lot of inventory out there. And so I don't know where Troy Teslike is getting some of this predictions, but definitely some pretty interesting stuff that he's predicting 64,000 units that have unsold, not delivered just yet. But very interesting time for Tesla. Very interesting time for probably a lot of different automotive makers out there that have a lot of inventory ready to be sold. But we're going to jump into, let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Welcome, Marks. Welcome, Rick. Ooh, Rick, got my Model Y long range today. Unfortunately, the Tesla backseat cover does not fit well. Ooh, yeah. The one thing I will say about all Tesla accessory partners or Tesla accessory companies out there, they come from the same source, I guess, all China. But yeah, that's not good. I mean, open a case with Tesla and see if they will work with you to try and fix that. I've never tried that product, so unfortunately, yeah, I'm sorry about that. Are they still doing the point of sale EV credit at the beginning of 2024, or will it always be end of year refund? Yes, so it will. It's supposed to be slated to be point of sale at the time of purchase. But the flip side to that is there are, as I understand it right now, I haven't dived into it because we're still pretty far away. But as I understand it, the Inflation Reduction Act kind of raises the restrictiveness of the battery and the manufacturing. So potentially Tesla Model Y, Model 3 might lose that credit, the 7,500 credit, but we just don't know it yet. And we'll probably, as we get closer to that, will start talking about it more. We'll get into it more. But right now we just don't know yet. But it's supposed to be point of sale. But that's also if Tesla qualifies for the 3,750 and the 7,500. Just put in my order today for the Model Y Performance. Nice. Congrats, Alex. Congrats to you. Anybody that is out there that are just ordered or just took delivery, we've got Tesla part accessory partner discount codes down below in the description. We got Tamai, Jawa, MAGBAK, and 3D Mats USA if you are looking for a more premium floor mount. So definitely check it out. Use code Dennis for $10 off down below in the description. Marks, trade-in value they give me is a big reason I decided to order now. Not sure what is going to happen with the used car values later this year, but odds are they're going to go down. Yes, Marks, completely correct. Usually trade values will stay pretty consistent throughout the summer. And then as we go through September, Q3, Q4, where the newer models come in for 2023, 2024 model years, that's when the trade values start to come down on certain models depending out there. But, depending on how long your vehicle is going to take, do not be surprised if the trade value goes down because this is a fluid and moving time frame. That's for sure, especially with Teslas if you're trading in Tesla. But if you're not trading in Teslas, then you should be perfectly fine. Paul, good evening. Welcome. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for supporting. But we got some other topics. This one's gonna be a good one, I think. In this next topic, we're going to talk about how Tesla pricing makes 0 sense. And of course, this is because of the Model 3 versus the Model Y, not necessarily Model S and the Model X, because that's not necessarily volume, but Model 3 pricing versus Model Y pricing is too compressed. And most likely they're cannibalizing each other's models, but we'll talk about it. But if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best AI Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel and get access to the best Tesla buying guide out there that has interest rates as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out, link down below in the description. But let us get into this. Shout out to Gary Black. He posted this and I thought this was really interesting. Tesla Model 3 performance at $52,990 starting price, quote, should be reduced to $49,990 to give it a fighting chance versus a Model Y performance at $53,990. Or bring out a Model 3 long-range all-wheel drive at $44,990 to fill the price cap. Model 3 inventory is above 2022 levels. So, of course, you can see right here on a kind of blurry price chart, but you can't necessarily see it. But we don't need to look at this because we can take a look at the website right after this. But Christopher Dungeon, where we definitely have highlighted some of their tweets, said agreed. Current pricing makes 0 sense unless Tesla is looking to upsell Model Y performance and make it appear of a much more of a bargain. And so, I mean, this is what we know, right? Tesla Model 3 and Model Y inventory production is at a pretty high rate for both vehicles, both considered to each other, but it is completely correct. Like the Model 3 right now with the only version of the Model 3 performance at $52,990 versus the Model Y at $53,990, only a $1,000 price increase between the Model Y performance. I think most people are going to just go ahead and buy the Model Y performance because it's only $1,000 more. But I can understand how there could be a lot of people out there that don't necessarily care about the SUV feel and look and would rather have a sport sedan that rides lower to the ground, more sportier, handles a little bit better than a Model Y performance. So that actually is a very good question because we're going to get to some point where probably the cost to manufacture a Model 3 is going to be similar to the cost to manufacture a Model Y, or maybe even vice versa. It's even less for a Model Y, who knows? And so really it's going to be a choice to the consumer, right? Does there really need to be that much of a price increase for a Model Y performance? But the definitely thing I would say is the Model Y performance is certainly cannibalizing some of the Model 3 sales and maybe even vice versa. So they do need to make a spread, whether it's like $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 difference. And also the Model 3 long range has been long gone for a while. We've definitely not seen them in inventory. I think the last time we saw a Model 3 long range that was actually in inventory for sale that you were able to actually purchase was in March, and really it has not came back since. So really, maybe if you're looking for a Model 3 long range, and specifically a Model 3 long range, it could potentially come out at the end of the quarter, which is June, because last time we saw one was in March. So definitely keep your fingers crossed. Check out the Waiting for Tesla website so you can see all the different inventory out there. And shout out to TJ and the team for creating this site. But really, there needs to be more of a spread. And of course, if Model 3 long range comes back at, it's supposed to be like a $48,000 to $49,000 price, but I think it definitely needs a little bit more separation than the Model Y variants because it needs to seem like more of a value that you're getting the Model Y. But at the end of the day, it certainly could make sense why they're just trying to price them in and together to each other and see what people want to choose at the end of the day. But that's definitely a good idea, and definitely a good idea to put a poll out there to see what people would actually choose. And let me know what you choose. If Model Y performance, well, Model Y performance is $53,990 and Model 3 performance is $52,990. Prices are very, very the same, basically $1,000 in difference between the two. Which one are you actually going to go ahead and choose? Are you going to go for Model Y performance, or are you going to do the Model 3 performance because you want to ride lower to the ground, you want better handling, not suspension, worse suspension, and a faster, maybe sportier coupe that probably could do better on the track at the end of the day. But definitely some interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts on it. Let me know what you're thinking. We're going to jump into the next topic. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is a Patreon link where you can support the channel. And there's a variety of benefits, but some of them include actually scheduling a call with me. We can ask me any questions about buying a Tesla, selling a Tesla, or even financing a Tesla. And after you join the Patreon, you get a link to my buying guide, which has links to all the credit unions and banks out there that I use to get the best possible rates on a Tesla or financing a Tesla. Some of them are even as low as 2.99 to 3.7%. So definitely check it out. Link down below in the description. And as an added benefit, I do respond to all Patreon DMs or direct messages in the Patreon app. So definitely hit that up if you're interested in sending me a question. Crumptus, we answered that already. Are they still doing point of sale? Yes, but Model 3 and Model Y might not qualify for the full 7,500 because the IRA, Inflation Reduction Act, gets stricter. But who knows? Tesla has done magical things this year to make their vehicles qualify for, at least the Model Y qualify for the full 7,500. So maybe they'll be able to work some magic as well. Trading value of my 2019 CRV has been going up in value still. Yeah, it's a weird time right now. Like used cars are going down, but they're also going up. But I guess it's because spring fever, summer fever, people just want to buy something and they'll buy a vehicle ASAP. I can't read it. Any rude. Sorry if I messed that up. I ordered my Model Y Performance on 4/24 and waiting for the VIN. Nice. Congrats to you. What is your EDD out there? Estimated delivery date. I'm curious. And also, which state are you in to see when you are actually going to take delivery or not? But thanks for joining in, everyone. Thanks for dropping by and hitting the like button and the comments and everything. But Tesla Model Y and Model 3 estimated delivery dates are getting pushed to now May, and that makes sense, right? Because you can see here April is pretty much over, so they've converted the website to May/June. So, but I've also been hearing that a lot of people are getting their estimated delivery dates getting pushed, maybe even to June. So let me know what your estimated delivery date is out there, and when are you actually slated to take delivery, and also have you gotten the VIN yet, and all of that. But in this next topic, the world's cheapest man, or technically frugal man, has now bought a Tesla. And this is good, right? Because we all like validation, we all like affirmation. And to see, we've been pitching a lot like Teslas are expensive vehicles out there. They're higher barrier to entry, they're higher price point, a higher monthly payment. But it's cool to see that the world's most frugalist man, or at least one of the most frugalist man that has a blog out there, has decided to make a decision and buy a Tesla. So definitely very cool. But if we're going to get into it, but if you're just joining in, my name is Dennis. I love talking about Tesla hacking, as I like to call it, but basically just getting the best deal on Tesla at the best financing rate. So definitely hit that subscribe if you're interested. And today's video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link down below in the description if you want to support the channel, but more on that later. So let us take a look at this. So here's the blog, Mr. Money Mustache, which seems to be a very frugal man out there. He's a part of the FIRE movement, which is financially independent, retire early, which is basically a group of people that like to save as much as possible and live kind of more sustainably upon that. But here's the Reddit thread, and where people posted about the frugal man buying a $52,000 electric vehicle, because most people, when they think a Tesla, they think luxury brand. But when you really boil it down, when you look at the monthly payment, when you look at all the different cost savings with maintenance, gas, and all that stuff, it really does make sense why buying a Tesla could make a lot of sense, especially also because like the depreciation and things like that. But of course, he's titled the blog or the post on all the different reasons why he bought a Tesla Model Y, the Model Y Experiment. And he also just bought the vehicle very, very recently. So of course, he gets the $7,500 federal tax credit, which is massive savings, and why probably a lot of people out there, why inventory is definitely on the down for Tesla Model Y, because a lot of people out there are realizing how good of a deal a Tesla Model Y is, especially when you factor in the $7,500 federal tax credit, especially when you factor in like state rebates, $2,000 for California, CVRP on top of that, and all that different stuff. But a lot of things I've read through this, he cited on like how long does the battery last, and he cited all those different things, and how what Tesla put in the most recent deck out there that battery degradation only goes 12% less than 200,000 miles. And there's a lot of different reasons why he chose to go over, would purchase a Tesla instead of other vehicles out there. It's interesting. He did cite about Elon and all the different Elon's postings on Twitter and things like that, but he kind of tried to segment it out and say that, necessarily that's not, he's buying a Tesla not because of Elon, but because of how it makes a lot of sense for all that stuff. But this was in a very interesting paragraph where he gets into like, what's the cost to drive and things like that. And when you charge an electric vehicle at home, he was saying that he was getting about 75 cents per gallon, the equivalent of that. But when you charge at a supercharger, which we know, which is a lot more expensive, not necessarily supposed to be used on a daily rate, he was actually said that it's equivalent to about paying $1.87 per gallon of gas. So if you live in high cost of living areas like California and other places like that, that's still a substantial amount of savings. But if you lived in other places where gas is not that much more, then you're really not going to save that much more with charging at a supercharger versus charging or versus filling for gas. But definitely some pretty cool stuff. Definitely very nice to get affirmation that even one of the people out there that have a very frugal has bought a Tesla Model Y as well. And so definitely good stuff. So we can really feel comforted that, or feel like we're making the right decision, that most people are getting on the bandwagon with us. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know what you're thinking. Why did you buy a Tesla Model Y? Was it for other reasons as well? But we're going to jump into the live stream comments. But before we do that, this video is actually sponsored by my Patreon link. Down below in the description is the Patreon link where you can support the channel. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Water break. Oh, no more comments. All right, we're good. All right. Well, thanks for joining in, everyone. Thanks for supporting. I know Saturdays is always it's always the weirdest day to stream. That's for sure. Every other day, it's usually pretty fruitful and pretty, a lot of people coming in. But Saturdays, I guess because most people are out and we're just home today. But, definitely some cool stuff out there. And I guess maybe Twitter Tesla is the quietest on Saturdays. I've got one more topic, but I might save it to the another day. But if you got questions out there, I'll stick on for a little bit more if you've got anything about purchasing a Tesla or financing a Tesla, you got any sort of questions. But we're going to be rolling into May soon, which is the second month of the Tesla quarter, which will definitely be a very interesting time. And then June, I think all the different stops are going to get rolled out. That is for sure. But we put a poll out there. We can see what we asked most recently. We've been trying to figure out some sort of question every single day. And so the most recent question is, which model do you think needs a refresh the most? And of course, overwhelming 40% said Model 3 needs the biggest refresh. I thought this was very interesting to me. How long do you plan to keep your Tesla? Over 50% of people said 6 to 10 years to keep a Tesla, which is good. I mean, you're supposed to keep cars 10 years. And so a lot of people, at least for the most bang for buck and savings and things like that. So definitely really cool to see that. But I'm going to put another poll out there right after we finish this. I'm going to put Model 3 performance or Model Y performance. Which one would you choose at the end of the day? But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Thanks for joining in. Thanks for watching. Thanks for the comments and likes and the subscribe. Definitely check out our Tesla part accessory down below if you want to support the channel. We've got Tenet, Jawa, Tesla, and MAGBAK, and 3D Mats USA. And also definitely check out Tenet, link down below in the description as well if you're interested in financing your vehicle a little bit a different way, because you can push off or defer that $7,000 or the portion of the loan all the way to the end, which then results into a lower monthly payment for financing a Tesla, and also even refinancing as well. So definitely check out link down below in the description. I just got my VIN today for a February 3rd order. Model Y Blue Black. Nice. Tom, which state are you in? Thanks for your dedication coming on here daily. No, thank you, Mark. Thanks for coming in. Thank you for supporting. And thanks for joining in. Tom, 5 days until VIN assignment. Okay, nice. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. But thanks for joining in, everyone. Thanks for supporting. And I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.